in this video, we're now going to move on to the next stage of the production pipeline, which is rigging and animating. So what we're going to do is basically just create a little joint system that's going to allow us to make this look like it's swinging in the wind. Something really simple. So we're going to create some joints, add some controls, and set some keyframes. So what we're going to do is go to Panel, Orthographic, and Side, and we're just going to take this into focus on these objects here. So we want the joints to really go from this point here to here, and then from here down to the bottom of the object. Okay, so something really nice and clean. So what we're going to do is change from the modeling menu to rigging. Okay, it's going to bring up a whole new range of tools for us to use. So what we're going to do is go to Skeleton, Create Joints, and I'm just going to turn it to a wireframe so we can see through the objects, and I'm just going to click in the middle here and the middle here, and in fact I'm going to hold shift whilst I do it, so I believe that makes it straight. No, it doesn't. Hold control. No. It's really annoying that we haven't actually put it on there because we could snap it. Okay, not a problem. We'll just roll with what we've got. So just try and keep it as straight as you can. If you aim for that middle line kind of cutting through here, it should keep it nice and straight as we can get it. And then in the center of the object down here, in the center there, that line. And again, this kind of pays us for us earlier having done the bit that we're doing. So what we've got, where we snap them together. So what we've got here, if I just go on to show joints only, none show joints, okay, is we've got a top joint, okay, which is joint 1, joint 2, and then a null object at the end, joint 3. So we're just going to rename these as chain 1, chain 2, chain, okay. And what we're going to do is, rather than animate these, because obviously these have set positions and things in, what we're going to do is create a big control that's going to have everything in it, which includes a lamppost and a ring and everything else, and then we're going to have smaller controls that are going to control these joints. So we're just going to go to the Curves and Surfaces tab, and we're going to create a circle. We're then going to bring that circle by pushing V all the way up to that joint. Okay, so the fact that we've hidden everything else means that we can just bring that in to there. We should have saved this as section 3. In fact, let's just do that now really quickly. Stage 3, I should say, S3. I've saved it as 32. I should have done that at the beginning, so I'm just going to go back in. Do that again. Right. Okay. So with this selected, we're just going to go in and change this, the size, but the input isn't there. So let's just go back. Okay. Normally we should be able to change the radius. Oh, there's radius. There we go. So let's just take that to. We need to turn on the CV curves now. So if we go to Nob's curves, it should show it. There we go. Okay. So in fact, I think we would have been okay on 5. Is enough. If we go back to perspective, we can kind of see that there. Okay. And we're just going to call this chain CTL for control 1. We're then going to go and duplicate that by pushing Control D. Okay, and that's going to duplicate it. And we're going to push W to get the move tool, translate tool, hold V, and snap it into the next joint down, like so. Okay, so we now have one on the other. Now what we're going to do is just connect them together. So we're going to push this control into here by pushing the middle mouse button and dragging. So we take Control 2, drag it till that dotted line appears all around chain 1 and drop it in there. Now that means wherever I move this control, that control should follow. Okay. So with that in mind, we're going to take chain 1, Control 1 and chain 1. So that was click chain 1 and click and hold Control or Command and click chain 1, Control and then chain 1 on the joint. Make sure that it's in that order, and then go to Constrain and go to Orient. Now what will happen is they will line up quite nicely. If they pop across from each other, you need to go in. Let me just undo that and do it without maintain offset on, so you can show you. If this happens, it's because you need to have maintain offset selected. So I'm just going to undo that. Or at least try to. Alright, then go to maintain offset, click apply, and then it'll add it in. Then we're going to go to chain 2 and basically click those together. So what I'm doing is telling that the orientation of the joints is being controlled by these controllers. So if I now rotate this control, you can see that I have those in. Now the only issue is that I didn't actually freeze the transformations of the controls. So that is a problem that I'd have to basically undo the stages and redo it. So I'm going to undo them. Hopefully I don't do this in the lesson where I forget to do that. So I'm just going to go select those controls, go to modify, freeze transformations, edit, delete by type, history, and my other control has disappeared. That's really weird. I don't know where that's gone, so let's undo. Maybe it's because it's parented. Let's just take that out. This is why it's important to do these things in the correct stages, because modify, freeze transformations, edit, delete by type, history, and that's there. Yeah. So I'll put that back in. So control is that lower control is controlled by that one, and I'm just going to then reconnect the orientations together on the chain and the joints, and now ready to attach the objects to the joints. Okay, so we're going to take the lamp. Let's show back everything again. Oh, show view selected. So wrong thing, sorry. That is a force of habit. All. Okay, so what I want to do is basically have this follow the second joint, chain 2. Okay, and then what I want is the lamppost ring to follow chain 1. So I've now parented that to chain 1. So what should happen, so by clicking the middle mouse button and hovering over the section, so if I was to take that and go around, remember they're going to have all those little chain dotted lines around it. That means it's ready to go inside and be parented. So if I now move the joint, we should see that that rocks from there. Okay, and that is exactly what we want. So the rigging is now complete and we're ready to start animating. Super exciting, because this is why we're here, right? So I'm going to turn the shader on, and what we're going to do is from the first frame we're just going to basically get this into a start position. So I'm going to rotate this back about 15 degrees. Okay, and we're going to click S to set a keyframe on the timeline. In fact, I'm getting ahead of myself. We need to prepare this. I'm really sorry I'm doing things in the wrong order. I'm thinking about what I'll do on my own without realising I'm doing this as a kind of lesson. So we just need to double check our preferences. So we're going to go to Window and go Settings, Preferences, and go to Preferences. I'm going to go to Settings, and we want to change that to 30 frames per second. click Save. Now you'll see the timeline at the moment isn't accurate, so we need to go to Windows. I'm not quite sure why the timeline isn't showing. I imagine I've changed from setting at some point in time. So let's change it to standard. Sorry, go back, see what's happening here. It's not going to allow me to, I haven't got the time slider. That's what I need to see, is the time slider. I'm just going to pause and sort it out and I'll come back. Okay, so basically, Windows, UI elements, range slider, that's what I needed. Okay, as it's on 1.25, I just need to change that to 1. And then change the end to 1, and everything else is fine. So what I'm going to do is just create a little rock as though it's in some kind of like the wind, and so on. So I'm just going to drag that down to 1. I'm going to set Z to -15. Push enter. Okay, it's not gone in. That's interesting. Let's try again. There we go. I want -15, so let's push that in. That's going to be like my start point. I'm going to push S to set a keyframe all across there. And in order to ensure I get a nice smoother playback, I'm just going to close some of the other programs that I've got running. I'm not confused with that, so okay. So I'm then going to just think about like how long it's going to take to a full kind of swing up. So let's just try a second. So I'm going to change that to 15. Okay, I'm going to push S. I'm going to go to 60 and go back to -15. Okay, and go to 90, and we'll do 10. Oh, sorry, I've got an autosave thing coming up. Push S. And I've not planned this by any means, so this isn't going to be great. I haven't planned it, I haven't prepared the kind of thinking about the time and space and so on. I'm literally just going off the cuff to just try and throw something together in 5. Okay, so if we play that back, okay, that's kind of cool. We've got a bit of ease in and out, which is what we want, just like a little rock. But the problem is the chain above and the actual light is moving at the same time, and would like to just show that they're separate, which is why we added in 2 joints rather than 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delay the movement. So at about 10, I'm still going to have chain 2 at -15 itself, like that. So we get this kind of like overlapping action. So I'm going to add it 10 frames on from everything else I did. So 40, I'm going to add in 15, and then 70. So basically it's overlapping action. On the chain piece, they're going on 0, 30, 60, 90. On here they're going 10, 40, 70, 100, etc, etc. So we'll do -15, and we'll go 100 and do 10, and then we'll go to 130 and do -10, and then when we get, we'll just add in 160 here, so I can add that overlap, although we're not going to see that afterwards. So we'll just do 5, just key that in, and we'll change the end of the slider back to 150 so the playback isn't affected. So if I play this now, we'll see there's a little bit of overlapping action, okay? Which is quite nice. No, just really subtle, which is the sort of thing that we want, okay? So what we're going to do is now prepare the scene to render in the next sequence. Okay, so we've done a little bit of rigging and we've done a little bit of animation.